Hi, Panther fans, hockey fans. How's everybody doing? A little bit different now. Things are going to be a little bit different now. For those of you who did not see the community post, um, Karen moved out last week, so there are everything, every inch of my life, every inch of the house, every inch. It's all just like either in the process of being burnt down or rebuilt, or or burnt down while I'm trying to rebuild. Um, I'm still trying to grieve for Ellie from March, and then I'm trying to catch up on Fluffy, and then the relationship. So, excuse me. A couple things are going to change for this podcast. So, this has been the Flying Fluffy Sports podcast, and it has been members only. Now, I'm not going to get into the long list of the reasons why, but reasons. This will not be a members only podcast anymore. This will be a members first podcast. So once we get into a groove, it's members first today already. But once we get into a groove, the podcast will be up by a certain time. The members will have early access to it for several hours for a while. And then it will become public on the channel. It's just part of the way that I'm going to have to arrange things now. I have to squeeze every penny out of everything that I possibly can. So, and without, there's no dogs to be outside having the podcast with now. We're in here. So it's no longer the Flying Fluffy Sports podcast. It's just the Flying Fluffy podcast. It's not a big deal. It's not a big change. His picture ain't going anywhere. The name of the channel ain't changing. So there's that. There's a lot of other new things coming here in the next month. So life is I don't even know if you would say kicking me in the nuts right now, because I've been kicked in the nuts, and I would have taken several kick in the nuts over what I've gone through in the last 5 months. So sip of water, and let's get to today's article. During the summer, when there's not a lot of games, I find articles to read, but this is actually good. What I have pulled up here, blown up to hyper big size, so I do not have to put my glasses on, is the Hockey Writers 2024-25 Atlantic Division season preview. It's not that far away. In fact, I seen that they put out, this is a perfect example of how my life is going right now. This is a small thing. It's not a big deal, but this is just a perfect example. I'm dealing with everything that I've told you. Karen and I had a business together. It is as messy as it could possibly be without us having been married and kids. But what I saw that they put out the preseason for hockey yesterday. The Panthers always start usually with a doubleheader against Nashville. Now, as I've grown this channel, I've tried to cover that. We stream it. We do a recap, whatever I can do. But these sons of bitches are going to kill me. They're going to kill me this year. I can see it, because they had to put the freaking thing on a Sunday. And I think the first game is at 2 and the second game is at 5. And right smack dab in the middle is the Dolphins-Seahawks game that Kyle and I have to cover on the football channel. So right out the box, not even just the first regular season game of the year, first preseason game of the year, I'm like, what do I do? I think the only way I'm going to be able to handle that is do the Dolphin game the way we normally would do. The preseason games are streamed, so there should be a replay or a record option. I should be able to watch those after and then do recaps on that. As usual, I'm going to try to do it all. I have no choice now but to do it all. But the point was, we go off on a lot of tangents in this podcast. Okay, this is not your typical YouTube algorithmic friendly video. We just talk here. So the point was, I think I was talking about hockey. The point is that, yeah, we're that close. It is August, what is it, 8th, 7th? It's August 7th. So that's a month and 15 days away, the first preseason games. So they're already going to be in a camp for a little bit. So, I mean, the guys are still traveling around with the cup, right? I'm seeing the videos. I don't have time to watch any of it because I'm packing up all the Karen's stuff. Don't ask why, don't ask how. It's a thing. It just, I'm being compensated by just, ugh. The point is I don't have time, but they're watching, they're still traveling around with the cup, and we're like 6 weeks from camp. And I'm like, these guys are going to kind of be tired, right? So I'm going to have that cup hangover. I've already got the cup hangover, and I haven't even been able to celebrate. So let's read the article. This is the Atlantic Division season preview. It says the division will be a dogfight once again as the Panthers try and defend their title and repeat as Stanley Cup champions, and that is terrible English. This article is written by Matthew Zader, and it should be this division will be a dogfight once again as the Panthers try to defend their title and repeat as Stanley Cup champions. No, you should not have two ands in the same sentence, Matthew. Come on, kid. I call him a kid because I just assume I'm so old everybody's younger than me. All right. They've got the Panthers first, so that's good. And then you guys will all click off. Notable additions: Nate Schmidt, Jesper Boquist, and Thomas Nosek. Is that really it? I mean, yeah, I guess so. I got this cough. I'm sorry. All right. Notable subtractions. Kicking the nuts. Tarasenko went to the Wings. OEL went to the Leafs. Oh, God. How can you do that, OEL? God, man, my heart's already just ripped to shreds. Stolarz went to the Leafs. I forgot. You see, here's the thing. A lot of this is new for me. Like 99% of this, you guys are going to be like, yeah, what? This is new for me because while you guys were doing this and I was kind of trying to make videos about it, I was on the floor with Fluffy while I was dying for 2 weeks. So none of this has stuck in the brain. None of it. So OEL and Stolarz went to the Leafs. Mahura got signed by the Kraken. Stenlund went to Utah. Montour went to the Kraken. And Kyle Okposo, they say free agency, but I thought he was retiring. All right. It says the offense will continue to be led by Barkov, Verhaeghe, Reinhart, and Tkachuk. With Reinhart's return to the Sunshine State on an 8-year contract, the Panthers will be able to ice their core group of forwards again this season. Reinhart led the team last season with 57 goals, 94 points, and got paid handsomely for it, netting a $69 million payday just for free agency on July 1st. Reinhart will reunite with Barkov, Verhaeghe, Tkachuk as the top scorers, along with Erod, Sam Bennett, and Anton Lundell, who also just re-upped with the Panthers on a 6-year deal. The depth suffers a bit with the losses of Okposo, Stenlund, and Tarasenko, but two of those were deadline acquisitions and didn't factor into most of the success that they had during the regular season. Boquist and Nosek should be adequate additions to the bottom six, bringing grit and size to an already deep lineup. And then they had the projected forward depth chart. Barkov with Verhaeghe and Reinhart, Bennett with Tkachuk and Rodriguez, Lundell, Lusterine, and Semiskevich. I don't know where they got that idea. And then the fourth line, bro. We are going to grow to love these guys. But the fact that it's not somebody with Lomberg and Cousins, just Nosek with Boquist and Entwistle. And there's other guys that could compete in there. It's possible. I know I did videos on who we got. I don't remember anything, guys. I'm sorry. I really don't. I mean, like, I feel like, what's the Men in Black, the neuralizer? I really feel like I got neuralized. Like, I remember this, but I don't remember, like, if when we got Entwistle, I don't know if I remember thinking he's definitely on the fourth line or he's just a reserve. The brain is just fried. Big changes on the blue line. Where the Panthers did lose in the offseason was on the blue line. The biggest being Brandon Montour, taking his 23 minutes and 27 seconds of average ice time and 40-plus points to the Kraken. He was a massive part of their defense for 3 seasons, putting up 37 goals on 147 points in 239 games, including a career-high 16 goals and 73 points in 22-23. I'm sure Bill Zito wanted to keep him, but after re-signing Reinhart, he simply just did not have the money to do it. Panthers also couldn't keep effective veteran OEL, who jetted to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and also the underrated Josh Maher also joined the Kraken alongside Montour. I mean, I hope Maher does well. He doesn't fit what we do. He did not look good last year. All of those guys are being replaced by Nate Schmidt. All right, this is good. He says all of those guys are being replaced by Nate Schmidt at this point. And while he's proven to be a minute muncher in his career, he's not going to replace the offense that Montour brought. I'm going to read the rest because maybe he gets to my points that I'm about to make. As a result, more responsibility will be heaped onto Kulikov, Niko Mikkola, Elvis Balinskis, and Tobias Bornfoot, who I know I'm mispronouncing his name. And I know that like a dozen of you have told me how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. My brain is broken. I can't even say the word brain without stumbling. I will have his name right by the beginning of this season. I'm sorry. And those guys aren't used to playing 20 nights a minute. 20 nights a minute. 20 nights a minute. It's going to be like this, isn't it? Oh, 20 nights a minute. Okay. Continuing. If no other changes are made between now and the regular season, the road to another cup will be a steep one. Blow that out your ass. Now, the projected defensive pairings, don't ask me. I'm curious as hell as to what he says. Forcing like Ekblad, Kulikov, Mikkola, and Balinskis Schmidt. Let me think about that. Don't worry. The rest of the teams won't be this long. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with them. Just a little bit with Tampa. Forcing Ekblad is the Kulikov, Mikkola. I'm not going to even try to remember the lefty things. I think like everybody's a left-hander. I don't know anymore. Seriously, I've been neuralized. I have kind of thought the same thing, though, that you would see Kulikov up there with Mikkola. Can he handle those minutes? He's like 44 years old at this point. Balinskis Schmidt. I'm not so sure that Schmidt's going to be on the bottom pair. Maybe. I think Balinskis could surprise people and be up there with Mikkola. Okay, especially if Kulikov can't handle the minutes. And don't leave out the guy whose name I can't pronounce either. All right, he could be a Forsling clone. He's like the same size. He's from Sweden. He was a first-round pick. So the talent is there somewhere. And it's not like he hasn't played. He's got minutes. So to leave him just guaranteed out of the top 6, not so sure. But we'll see. I don't know anything. It says it's goalie Bob's crease again. Goalie Bob. The $10 million man has been playing like it the past couple of seasons, leading the Panthers to the Stanley Cup final last year and sealing the deal with his first championship this year. We've done this already. Is this year last year, or is this, or are we on? We should be on this year is this year, and last year was last year. We should not be on this year is last year and next year is next year. We're in next year. I'm sorry. What the hell does he say? Okay, Bobrovsky, that's not what he says, but that's what I'm calling him now. I've combined Bobrovsky with Bubba Brewski, and I've been calling him Bobrovsky. So just whatever, man. Subscribe or unsubscribe. At this point, what more can you do to me? He could have a new running mate this offseason or get a familiar one back as newcomer Chris Drieger will battle with Spencer Knight for the right to back him up. Let me just stop him there. If Knight is genuinely battling with Drieger, we're effed. Okay? It needs to appear as though more like Knight could battle with Bob. Okay? I love Chris Drieger. I love what he did for us. But since he left, He's like broke his leg 4 times. I think he's been decapitated, and I think he got neuralized as well. He's probably an AHL guy. No disrespect. If he has to play and does well, beautiful, right? If he does well, I bitched about him here. That's why he did well. But Spencer Knight should not be competing with Drieger for the backup. All right, that's an illusion. That better be an illusion. All right, because they're paying Spencer Knight a lot of money and he's costing us players. He at the very least needs to be what Stolarz was last year, and he better be making Bob sweat. If Bob has a bad couple games and he puts Spencer in, Bob needs to be sweating that. All right, so then that's all I said about the Panthers. Good God, I should shut up now. Maybe I should just do one show per team. Screw it. I got nothing else to do but pack up Karen's stuff and cry, so we'll just do this. All right, the Boston Bruins. I'm going to probably mispronounce half these names, guys. Notable additions. And remember, this is a surprise to me. This is all new to me. So there's going to be some what? Oh, my God, that guy went there? And you guys are like, yeah, duh, Jaws. Well, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Notable additions. Elias Lindholm, Nikita Zadorov. Didn't they get him at the end of last year? Did they re-sign? I don't know. Lindholm, Zadorov, Korpisalo, Kastelik, and Max Jones. Notable subtractions, the whole team. Ullmark went to the Senators. Heinen went to the Canucks. DeBrusk went to the Canucks. Forbort went to the Canucks. Did they make a trade I remember about? Grzelcyk, I don't know, Penguins. Shattenkirk, free agency. Boquist went to the Panthers. Pat Maroon went to the Blackhawks. Oh, geez, Maroon, boy, how the mighty have fallen. And James Van Riemdijk, I know how to say his name. I'm not going to try to say it again. Free agency. Can Lindholm return Bergeron vibes to the Bruins? Bruins successfully got through last season. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. They got through last season without their 6-time Selke winner, Patrice Bergeron, and longtime second center, David Krejci. Many pundits were predicting that they were going to a free fall and finish outside the playoff picture with Pavel Zacha and Charlie Coyle as their top options down the middle. But that didn't happen, and they made the playoffs as the second seed in the Atlantic Division because the Panthers decided in the last couple minutes to win some games because they wanted home ice advantage, which I guess, did it pay dividends? Would we have not had home ice advantage against Edmonton if we wouldn't have won those games? I never thought about that before. All right. This season, they will be joined by Elias Lindholm, someone who has been compared to Bergeron at times in his career. He was the runner-up for the Selke in 2020, finishing with, in 2022, finishing with 21 first-place votes to Bergeron's 195. While he's regressed since putting up a career-high 42 goals and 82 points in 21-22, he's still an elite defensive presence, penalty killer, and face-off man. He hasn't dropped below 50% in the past 4 seasons and continues to be relied upon for key draws and special team situations. So, in other words, the Bruins seemingly have a legitimate top-line center again going into 2024. Interesting. So, he has the projective lines for Boston. Lindholm with Zacha, yeah, and Pasta. Coyle with Marchand and Geeky. Poitras with Frederick and Brazeau. Beecher with Jones and Kastelik. Isn't that one of the guys that said that they lost? I don't know. See, I can't even remember what I just. No, I can't even remember what I just read. Zadorov out. Zadorov in. Grzelcyk, who I can't pronounce, and Forbort out. Okay, so they did do a trade. The Bruins and Canucks swapped not only forwards this offseason, but defensemen as well. Big 6'6" Nikita Zadorov will replace 6'4" Derek Forbort and likely take over his role in penalty kill. He's an upgrade. He's an upgrade on Forbort in the offense and mobility departments, but they will miss his penchant for blocking shots. Zadorov hasn't had a triple-digit season in that category since 17-18, while Forbort already has 5, most recently in 21-22 when he was last healthy for a full season. The projected defensive pairings, I'm not going to be able to read everything for every team, because my TMJ is going to flare up. Projected defensive pairings: Zadorov, McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, Lore, Peaky. So they got Geeky and Peaky. Come on, man. I got to go turn my air conditioner on over here, so just bear with me. Please pause for station identification. All right. So what you're telling me, those of you who are not, well, no, I didn't just fart. The chair is squeaky. I got a new chair ordered, by the way. I'm going to have a nice, comfy chair because this is killing me. Those of you who are new to the podcast are wondering, is it like this all the time? No, sometimes I'm in a good mood. They have a Geeky and a Peaky. Now, is it pronounced Peaky or Peak? Because it's Peeke. I don't care. I'm calling them Geeky and Peaky. There's no way around that. No more goalie hugs between Swayman and Ullmark. Biggest change the Bruins will see this season is between the pipes, as Ullmark was dealt to the Senators for Korpisalo, Mark Kastelik, and a first-round pick. That means no more 1A, 1B tandem that usually resulted in the famous goalie hug between Ullmark and Swayman after a Bruins win. Swayman will be given the keys to the crease and will probably start close to 50 or 60 games rather than the career-high 43 he saw last season. It will be interesting to see how head coach Montgomery handles his goalies this season and whether he feels confident playing Korpisalo in more of a 1B role, instead of a traditional backup. I don't think they're going to have much fall off, right? I mean, Korpisalo is not Ullmark, but he's not terrible, right? I mean, Ullmark for Korpisalo, Kastelik, and a first-round pick. That's Boston did not do too poorly there. That is a Zito-esque trade. All right, I'm not going to be able to get through all these teams. So today we are going to do Florida, Boston, and Toronto, and then tomorrow or Friday, or maybe tomorrow, we'll do the rest of the division. My voice. No, what is it? What is the Wicked Witch of the world? I just gotta shut up. Jesus, Jaws. Toronto Maple Leafs. And don't ask me. Notable additions: Chris Tanev, Philip Myers, Anthony Stolarz, Yanni Hakanpää, and OEL. Notable subtractions: Bertuzzi went to the Blackhawks, Samsonov went to the Golden Knights, Edmondson went to the Kings, Giordano went to free agency, Noah Gregor went to the Senators, TJ Brody went to the Blackhawks, and Ilya Labushkin, one of my names that I like, went to the Stars. The Blackhawks, they got Bertuzzi, they got TJ Brody, and then who was the one that they got from Boston? Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, yeah, they got Pat Maroon. I got it. The Blackhawks might not be terrible this year. All right, so we're back to the Leafs. Oh, come on. You sons of bitches. This is real life. I'm going to screen share. Now I have to put my glasses on. I'm going to screen share what just happened to me. You son of a bitch. I'm here 25 minutes in, and can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. I'm in the middle of getting ready to do Toronto, and there it is. I mean, I scrolled enough, right? Like when I scrolled past Florida and I got through Boston, I said I didn't even think that this would be a paid thing. I'm like, okay, this is just in my email. How many monthly subscriptions am I supposed to keep? So that's going to do it for this show. Oh, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the perfect illustration of my life right now. I mean, that was oh, I'm sorry. I'm still posting that. I know some of you are going to be like, Jaws, you got halfway through. This was fun. And now, no, I'm not going to. What do they want? They want a free trial? Y'all are sitting there screaming at me to just do the free trial, right? Let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, and you see now my internet went out. Oh my God. This is so bad. I'm having such a terrible moment here. All right, so we're going to see if they just want an email address, I'll do the free trial. But if they're going to ask for my credit card or my PayPal, no. Let's see. I don't want to pay that. Let me see. I want to do the cheapest possible thing. If they ask for my card information, just forget about it. Yeah, choose a payment method. No, we're not doing that. So that concludes today's podcast. Usually things go better. But today they didn't. Tomorrow they might. And maybe tomorrow we will be unburdened by what is today. I got to shut up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm going insane.